Stop leaning on the old map, chosen one. The route you thought was your future is about to be interrupted by my hand, and what feels like a disruption is actually my mercy pulling you into the path I wrote before you were born. Listen to me now, weary warrior who has been walking through a season of heavy silence. I see the nights when you stared at the ceiling and wondered why everything felt delayed, why every step seemed resisted, why doors opened only to close again before your hands could touch them. I see the ache you hid behind your smile. I see the prayers you whispered with cracked lips, the tears you swallowed so nobody would know how deep the battle had become. I see the money pressure, the unstable ground beneath your feet, the loneliness that makes even ordinary days feel long, and the spiritual weight that has been pressing on your chest like a storm that refuses to move. You thought I had gone quiet, but I was not absent. You thought your path was ending, but I was interrupting it. And I am speaking to you this very moment because the season you have been calling delay is about to reveal itself as divine protection. I did not allow every setback to punish you. I allowed some of them to spare you. I blocked certain roads because they would have broken you. I slowed certain answers because your heart needed strengthening before the blessing could rest on you. I closed certain doors because what stood behind them was too small for the future I had already appointed. Do you hear me, chosen one carrying hidden dreams? Not every interruption is an accident. Some interruptions are my signature. Some disruptions are holy. Some detours are not the enemy's sabotage at all. They are my hand turning your life away from what could not carry your destiny. You have been asking why things changed so suddenly, why the person you trusted shifted, why the place that once felt safe started to feel wrong, why the job, the plan, the relationship, the opportunity, the rhythm of your life all began to shake. And I will tell you the truth with fatherly tenderness and unshakable authority, because I love you too much to let you stay where your growth would have died, because I know what is on you, because I know what is in you, because I know what I placed inside your spirit before you ever took your first breath. I am not merely rearranging your schedule, I am interrupting the entire path that would have kept you small. Hear the word I gave long ago, because it is alive over your life right now. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. That is not poetry for someone else. That is not a distant promise hanging in the sky. That is my declaration over you in this hour. I know the thoughts I think toward you. I know the end I have prepared. I know the path that leads there. And I know the exact moment when I must step into your timeline and interrupt what was never meant to become permanent. Chosen one, you have cried over what you called wasted time. You have looked at the calendar and felt fear rise in your throat. You have compared your life to other people's progress and wondered whether you were left behind. But I am here to tell you that I do not measure your life by the pace of others. I do not build destinies by human clocks. I build them by purpose. I build them by fire. I build them by the hidden endurance I have been putting inside you when nobody was watching. What you thought was a setback was training. What you thought was rejection was refining. What you thought was the end of the road was me taking your hand and turning you toward the road you were actually meant to walk. And now I need you to hear this with your spirit open wide. The interruption is not to destroy your path. The interruption is to change your path. That is why the pressure has felt so intense. That is why the resistance has been so personal. That is why confusion has hovered around certain decisions like a fog. The enemy does not fight what is insignificant. The enemy does not invest warfare into what carries no future. The very fact that you have been resisted is evidence that your life matters. The very fact that hell has pushed against you proves there is something on the other side of this season that the darkness wanted to delay, distract, or derail. But the enemy is late. He cannot rewrite what I have already spoken. He cannot cancel what I have already sealed. He cannot outrun what I have already set in motion. There is a reason I sent this message to you now. There is a reason your heart paused when you heard the title. There is a reason something inside you said, "This is for me." I am stirring recognition in you because this is an appointed moment. I am bringing you into awareness because the next move in your life will require discernment. You are not being punished. You're being positioned. You're not being forgotten. You are being redirected. You are not being broken beyond repair. You are being interrupted by my love. And I need to speak directly to the one who has been exhausted from trying to force doors open. Stop pushing at what I have already sealed. Stop exhausting yourself trying to resurrect paths I have already closed. Stop calling delay a denial when it is actually divine redirection. I know the disappointment has been painful. I know the waiting has felt humiliating. I know the unanswered questions have burned in your mind. But some answers are coming, not through explanation, they're coming through transformation. I am changing you while I change your path. I am building the vessel while I prepare the assignment. I am teaching your hands to release what your heart wanted to clutch. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. That is my voice over your life, not just comfort, direction, not just reassurance, correction, not just tenderness, guidance. Because I am not calling you to survive this season. I am calling you to follow me through it. I am calling you to trust me when the road bends in a direction you did not plan. I am calling you to surrender the illusion of control so I can place you exactly where blessing, purpose, and peace meet. And I will show you something if you will listen carefully. Sometimes the interruption comes through loss, sometimes through unexpected silence, sometimes through a sudden no, sometimes through a person walking away, sometimes through a closed account, a delayed message, a missed opportunity, a cancelled plan, a strange unrest in your spirit that makes you unable to proceed even when everyone else thinks you should. Do not call those moments meaningless. I am speaking through them. I am steering through them. I am preserving you through them. If I remove what your flesh wanted, it is because your spirit could not afford the cost of staying. Daughter of the breaking dawn, you have been wondering whether your tears are seen. They are seen. Everyone. The tears you cried in private. The tears that came while you were driving and pretending to be fine. The tears that fell on your pillow. The tears you wiped away before entering a room full of people. I have collected them. I have counted them. I have counted them. I have not wasted one. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. That is my nearness to you right now. Not far, not delayed, near, close enough to hold the part of you that feels tired of being strong. You are not the only one who has felt the ground shifting beneath you. But I want you to know what is happening beneath the visible world. I am interrupting inherited cycles. I am interrupting patterns of fear. I am interrupting the silent agreement you made with hopelessness when you said, "This is just how life is for me." No, it is not. Not under my covenant, not under my hand, not under my blood. I am breaking the cycle that is repeated in your family, in your emotions, in your finances, in your mind, in your relationships, in your expectations. You will not keep walking in circles and call it destiny. I am bringing a new way. I am making a path where there was no path. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Do you feel that? That is not just a promise for history. That is a living word for this hour. I am doing a new thing, not a recycled thing, not a weakened thing, not a smaller thing, a new thing. You may not recognize it at first because it will not look like the old root. It will not sound like the old relationship. It will not carry the old relationship. It will not carry the old frequency of fear. It will not feel like striving. It will have my peace on it. It will have my timing on it. It will have my fingerprints all over it. And when it comes, you will understand why I interrupted the old path so suddenly. My precious one, let me take you deeper. There are moments when I interrupt not only to redirect, but to reveal who is with you and who is not, to reveal what is real and what was built on convenience, to reveal what your heart has been avoiding, to reveal the strength you did not know you had, to reveal the prayer life you only discovered after the pain began. Sometimes I interrupt the smooth road, because if I do not, you will never look up. You will never seek me with your whole heart. You will never know the power of leaning on me when your own understanding breaks in your hands. So yes, I allowed the interruption. I allowed the sudden shift. I allowed the uncomfortable pause. I allowed the moment that made you sit still and ask, "What now?" Because in that question, I could answer you. In that stillness, I could reach you. In that emptiness, I could fill you. In that silence, I could retrain your hearing so you would recognize my voice above every other voice. And there is something else I must tell you, son of sudden restoration. Your path is changing because your assignment is changing. The old road could not carry the weight of what is coming. The old place could not contain the oil. The old mindset could not interpret the blessing. The old circle of people could not protect the mantle. The old version of you would have collapsed under the responsibility of the next season. So I interrupted the path now, before you reached a point where the pressure would have become unbearable. You are being prepared for greater visibility, greater authority, greater spiritual sensitivity, greater impact. And when I begin preparing someone for greater, I often begin by interrupting what is familiar. Familiarity can become a prison if it keeps you from obedience. Comfort can become a cage if it dulls your hunger. Predictability can become a trap if it makes you forget that I am still leading. I am not interested in giving you a life that is easy but empty. I am giving you a life that is aligned, anointed, and full of purpose. There are signs you will begin to notice as this divine interruption unfolds. First, you will feel a growing discomfort with what once felt normal. Second, you will notice certain relationships becoming strained where they once flowed easily. Third, you will see that doors you were desperate for no longer excite you in the same way. Fourth, you will experience an unusual urgency to pray, to fast, to listen, to wait. Fifth, you may encounter sudden clarity about things you were confused about for a long time. These are not random emotional waves. These are confirmations. They are signposts. They are my gentle but firm hand turning your face toward the next direction. And I need to say this clearly to the one who has been financially pressed, because I know the fear that rises when the bills come and the resources do not. I know the shame you try not to feel. I know the panic that visits at night when you calculate and recalculate and still cannot see how everything will come together. Hear me, I am not only interrupting your path, I am interrupting lack. I am interrupting the lie that says you must live trapped under scarcity forever. I am interrupting cycles of deficit. I am interrupting the mentality that expects only just enough. I am interrupting the fear that keeps you from believing I can provide in ways you have never seen before. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. That is not a cute verse. That is a kingdom reality. It means I lead, I provide, I protect, I guide, I keep, I open, I close, I sustain. It means your life does not depend on panic. It means your future does not depend on human systems alone. It means your peace does not depend on the market, the economy, the approval of people, or the stability of circumstances. I am your shepherd, And because I am your shepherd, lack does not get the final word. Pause and hear me, chosen one. The path is changing because I am making room for what I promised. You have outgrown certain containers. You have outgrown certain confessions. You have outgrown certain conversations. You have outgrown certain dependencies. You have outgrown the stories that were written over you by pain, by rejection, by disappointment, by other people's limitations. I am tearing off labels that were never mine. I am removing names that were spoken over you in frustration. I am silencing voices that said you would never rise, never heal, never become, never carry, never finish, never recover. They were wrong. I am not finished with you. Being confident of this very thing, that he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. Do you understand what that means over your life? It means your unfinished place is not failure. It means the process is not abandonment. It means the work in you has not been abandoned halfway. I began it, I will perform it, I will complete it, I will mature it, I will sanctify it, I will establish it, I will bring it to the appointed finish. You are not abandoned in the middle of a sentence. I am still writing. And now I must bring a fire to your spirit, because some of you have been spiritually numbed by disappointment. You have prayed so long that your own voice sounds tired to you. You have fought so long that praise feels harder than pain. You have believed so long that waiting has worn grooves into your heart. But I am breathing fresh fire into the weary places. I am waking up your expectation. I am restoring holy hunger. I am reminding you that you are not called to live without vision. You are not called to live disconnected from me. You are not called to survive on leftovers from old encounters. I have more for you, more truth, more peace, more strength, more clarity, more courage, more of my presence than the fear has allowed you to remember. And right here, before I take you deeper, honor this moment with action if this word is reaching your heart. Like this message, write exactly these words in the comments. My divine interruption is here. Subscribe and turn on the bell because you need to stay connected to what I am speaking in this season. Now listen again, because the next part matters. A divine interruption is often the moment when heaven says, not this road, not this pattern, not this outcome. I have another way. You may think your detour is wasting time, but I do not waste time. I redeem it. I multiply it. I use it. What you call interrupted, I call preserved. What you call delayed, I call delivered. What you call confusing, I call concealed mercy. Do you remember Joseph? Rejected, betrayed, forgotten, misunderstood, and still preserved. The path was interrupted by a pit, by slavery, by prison, but none of it was random. Every interruption carried him closer to the throne. Every hardship was part of the route to the place I had chosen. And I am telling you this because your story has not ended in the pit, and it will not end in the prison. The interruption is not your burial. It is your passage. It is how I move you from one form to another. It is how I separate the dream from the crowd. It is how I train your character to hold what your hands have been asking me for. There is a calling on you that the old path could not have sustained. There is oil on you that the old environment could not have understood. There is depth in you that shallow places could not nurture. So when people misunderstood you, I understood you. When people mislabeled you, I named you. When people left, I remained. When the path collapsed under your feet, I became the road beneath you. I'm not only leading you around obstacles, I'm becoming your way through them. And I know some of you are asking the question you have not dared to say out loud, why now? Why now when I was finally settling? Why now when I was almost comfortable? Why now when I was beginning to hope again? Why now when I had already made plans? My answer is simple and holy, because now is the appointed time, because now your spirit is ready for what your life has been resisting, because now the old delay has reached its end, because now I am stepping into the timeline and shifting what cannot continue, because now you are strong enough to surrender, because now you are soft enough to hear, because now the door is changing shape. And hear this with trembling wonder: some of what looked like loss will become evidence of my mercy. Some of what you mourned will later make sense. Some of the people who walked away could not have walked with you into what is next. Some of the places you left behind would have trapped you in a cycle you were never supposed to normalize. I do not merely remove, I replace with purpose. I do not merely interrupt, I redirect toward promise. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. That means your steps are not random. Your pauses are not random. Your starts and stops are not random. Your confusion is not proof that I lost you. Your confusion is often the fog before clarity. Stay with me in the fog. Stay with me in the unfamiliar. Stay with me when the old landmarks disappear. I am ordering your steps. I am not asking you to see the whole map. I am asking you to trust the one who wrote it. Some of you have been living under constant attack in your mind. Thoughts of fear, thoughts of inadequacy, thoughts of what if I never make it, thoughts of what if I missed my chance, thoughts of what if I am too late. I am interrupting those thoughts too. I am not speaking to your panic as though it has authority. I'm speaking to your destiny. Your destiny is louder than your fear. My promise is stronger than your anxiety. My voice is clearer than your condemnation. There is no late child in my kingdom when I am the one who appointed the hour. And because I know how deeply you need confirmation, I will tell you this. When I begin a divine interruption, I often let the old certainty die first. Not because I enjoy your pain, but because certainty built on the wrong thing must be broken, so truth can stand. I will allow your confidence in the old path to weaken so that your faith in me can grow strong. I will let you feel the limit of human planning so you can discover the power of divine leading. I will allow the old frame to crack so that the new structure can emerge. You are not losing control. You are not losing illusions. And that, beloved warrior, is part of your healing. I know how hard that is. I know how much you wanted the story to unfold neatly. I know how much you wanted the promise without the pressure. I know how much you wanted the blessing without the breaking. But there are things I can only place in hands that have learned surrender. There are realms I can only entrust to those who have walked through fire and still kept their heart tender. There are depths I can only reveal to the ones who did not turn bitter when life turned hard. You have been through enough to become wise, but I am saving you from becoming cold. I am saving your softness. I am saving your mercy. I am saving your ability to hear me without the noise of pain drowning out my voice. Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. Commit your way, not just your outcome. Trust me with the road itself. Trust me with the interruption. Trust me with the timing. Trust me with the timing. Trust me with the detour. Trust me with the no. Trust me with the unexpected. Trust me with the waiting room. Trust me with the turning point. Because I am not bringing you into a dead end. I am bringing you into a guided shift. And now I want to speak over your body, your mind, your sleep, your breath, your heart. I rebuke the heaviness that has tried to settle on you. I rebuke the anxiety that wakes you up at night. I rebuke the exhaustion that no amount of rest seems to fix. I rebuke the spiritual fog that makes it hard to pray. I rebuke the intimidation that has made you question your worth. I rebuke the voice that tells you to settle for survival when I have called you to abundance of purpose, abundance of peace, abundance of joy, abundance of fruitfulness in the place I send you. You are being interrupted, yes, but for healing, for alignment, for elevation, for clarity, for holy construction. There will be a moment soon when you look back and say, "Now I see it." You will see why certain things had to end. You will see why certain delays saved you from a worse outcome. You will see why the pain pushed you into prayer. You will see why isolation became the place of revelation. You will see why I insisted on your surrender. You will see why the road had to change. And when that moment comes, your worship will be deeper because your understanding will be fuller. I am preparing you for a surprise that will not come through your old expectations. It will feel like a sudden opening, a holy interruption, a door you did not force open, a solution you did not engineer, a connection you did not manipulate, a provision you did not summon by striving. That is how you will know my hand was in it. It will arrive with peace. It will arrive with timing. It will arrive with confirmation. It will arrive with the strange and beautiful sense that I have been working behind the scenes all along. Now unto him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. Do you hear the scale of that promise? Exceeding abundantly above your plan, above your fear, above your imagination, above your old pattern, above the limitation you have become used to. I am not small in your life. I am not reduced by your circumstances. I am able, and my ability is not distant. It is active. It is moving. It is reaching into the places where your own strength has run dry. My cherished one, I want you to breathe for a moment and let this sink in. The path is changing because I have chosen a greater end for you than the one you could have settled for on your own. The interruption is not random. It is refined. It is intentional. It is compassionate. It is strong. It is the way I rescue you from lesser versions of your future. It is the way I rescue you from agreement with pain. It is the way I rescue you from the false comfort of familiar bondage. You will not be trapped in the old story. You will not be swallowed by the old shame. You will not be defined by the old delay. You will not be abandoned in the middle of transformation. You will not miss what I have appointed. You will not arrive too late to what I have prepared. I am saying this with holy fire because I need your spirit to rise above what your eyes have seen. There is more ahead than behind. There is more in you than around you. There is more power in my promise than in your current struggle. There is more hope in your future than fear has been allowed to suggest. I am changing your path, yes, but I am also changing your posture. You will stand differently after this. Pray differently after this. Wait differently after this. Wait differently after this. Trust differently after this. Receive differently after this. And when the dust settles, you will understand that what looked like interruption was actually my intimate involvement. I was there in the pressure. I was there in the silence. I was there in the closed door. I was there in the unexpected pause. I was there in the tears. I was there in the night you almost gave up. I was there in the moment you thought you had been forgotten. I was there, guiding, guarding, redirecting, and preparing. Do you know what this means? Chosen one carrying hidden dreams? It means you are not drifting. It means you are being led. It means you are being led. It means even your confusion is under my care. It means the change of direction is not the end of your story, but the beginning of your true one. It means I am about to show you how I can take what seemed like disruption and turn it into destiny. It means the very place you feared was losing ground is becoming the place where new ground is given to you. Hold on to me now. Do not rush ahead of me. Do not lag behind me. Do not lag behind me. Do not let disappointment train you to distrust what I am doing. I am still God over your timeline. I am still God over your heartbreak. I am still God over your finances. I am still God over your relationships. I am still God over your relationships. I am still God over your calling. I am still God over what was broken and what will be restored. I am still God over the interruption itself. And I am telling you one final thing before this word settles into your spirit. The path I am leading you into will not merely be different, it will be truer. Truer to who I made you to be. Truer to what I planted in you. Truer to the peace you have been craving. Truer to the assignment that has been waiting under the rubble. Truer to the life that fits your soul. What I am changing is not just direction, it is destiny alignment. So when the next shift comes, do not panic. When the old door closes, do not beg it back open. When the map changes, do not curse the detour. When the silence gets deep, do not assume I have left. I am nearer than your breath. I am closer than your fear. I am more present than your pain. And I am guiding you into a place where the interruption becomes testimony, where the delay becomes deliverance, where the breaking becomes breakthrough, where the hidden pain becomes the birthplace of your anointing. I am changing your entire path because I refuse to leave you on a road that cannot hold your future. And before you leave this moment, if this message reached into the deepest part of your spirit and reminded you that heaven is still guiding your steps, take a second to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you do not miss the next word God releases for your season. There are divine interruptions still unfolding, hidden doors still opening, and breakthrough moments already moving toward your life even now. Stay close to the voice that is strengthening your faith, because this journey is not over yet, and what God is about to do next will change everything.